Hi there, I have a guest in the studio today, a guest from Alaska. Tell me, what are you doing in Alaska, Isaiah?
I'm a member of the United States Coast Guard, and up there I'm on a 225-foot cutter that takes care of buoys, and I'm working towards being a deck watch officer on that, so driving the boat is my main job up there.
Wow, that must be cool. And now you are visiting Florida, and the cool thing is that we are related, and if we turn the camera around and watch at the cameraman, Tim, say hello to the viewers. We are all three family, and how come that? I will tell you if you hang on and watch on this segment, because it's really gonna be interesting. This guy here is an American loving muscle cars, but you have a weak spot for Swedish cars. Why?
Yes, I love muscle cars as well. Love the Mustang growing up, but my parents' car was a 1999 V70. That's what I was brought home from the hospital in. My grandfather loved Volvos, and I guess when I grew up, I loved the Volvo 240, and so I've had two of those, and a Saab 900. And they're just, being from Maine, I feel like with Sweden, with a similar climate and everything like that, it's kind of like a car built for Maine, and there was just so many of them when I was younger running around.
Yeah, so. You're absolutely right. They work fine in the cold climate. But you are not only driving them, you're also working on them.
Yes, yeah.
What Saab model is easiest to work with?
I've only had experience with the classic 900s, the 79 to 93, right? And although I feel like they get a bad rep as being hard to work on with the backwards engine and the transmission being underneath it, I found it, once you learn them, they're very easy to work on, and it's definitely a requirement when you have a Saab, especially the older ones in Maine, to be able to work on them yourself and maybe have a second one just for parts. So
I'm sure my friends in Sweden who created that engine will love to hear this, that it wasn't too difficult to work with. But what about parts? How do you find parts?
It's a lot like, I'd say, antiquing. A lot of it's finding secondhand Saabs, and there's always some Saab fanatic or old Saab mechanic with lots of parts or junk cars, and a lot of it is getting secondhand stuff. But the aftermarket for them is also, I feel like, as they've been disappearing, there's been a lot of passion coming out for them. So I've been able to get some newer parts, and there's a lot of interest growing.
And they are rising in value. They are getting more expensive.
Definitely are
now.
Yeah.
Saab has a lot of problem with the rust. We have shown that many times in Traffic magazine. I'm sure you can agree on that rust is a problem. But you have also noticed another problem.
Oh yeah, they're, especially with the turbo models, transmissions are pretty weak. Even from new, I heard that they're weak at normal power levels, and I'm a little silly, and for a while I ran my Saab with more power, the bigger turbo. I think it was close to 300 horsepower for a bit, which is a little much. But with their parts becoming less, transmissions, especially the manuals, becoming hard to find, have to tone it down, and they tend to give out if you try to drive them too hard. So I try to baby them. And
you have had many Volvos and Saab. I would say that you are a fantastic ambassador for Swedish cars. And what can we say about this? You showed it to me. I've never seen one of these before. I have seen many caps from Saab, but this says Saab Scania in golden stitches and looks to me like a general's cap.
My wife's uncle, who used to work in a Saab dealership when he was younger, said that the manager always had this hat, or like hat exactly like it on. So I think it was like a dealership hat, and maybe a manager hat with the gold leaf, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. He must have been a very successful dealer getting this very rare cap. I have seen a lot of caps with Saab, but not something like this. That has not happened. So you should really take care of this one. I think it's pretty rare. Okay, Isaiah and Tim. I mentioned to the viewers that we have something in common. Yes, my grandpa, because he left Sweden in 1910. So we three in this studio, in this room, we are very close related. I'm so honored to have had you here, Isaiah, and Tim, earlier TV producer at Vink Television in Fort Myers. Glad to have you behind the camera. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hallå där, gillade du det här klippet och ska du veta att det finns mer på min YouTube-kanal Trafikmagasinet BilTv med Perstad. Där finns hundratals klipp som handlar om bilar och trafik från igår, idag och lite grann också imorgon. Och där laddar jag upp nya klipp varje dag i veckan och adressen är alltså Trafikmagasinet BilTv med Perstad. Och du, hör gärna av dig med tips och idéer, det uppskattar jag. Nu kör vi!